And already, in this sacred space, created by the very intention for each and all to be here in this eternal now, that impulse that said, let me be present and do this thing as expression of my love of God and my service, motivated by the higher heart of compassion and unconditional love, the great heart's dreaming of having a better world, a more balanced world, a world of joy and happiness, peace, collaboration, with tremendous diversity, but with symbiotic relationships, and all is in harmony. Because it is our heart's dreaming, because somewhere, somehow, we know this exists. Somewhere, somehow, we know there is a state of radiant blissfulness, wonderful, astounding joy, wonderment, peace, and love. It's in our bones. It is in the very DNA. It is within the electron spin in our atomic and subatomic expressions. For we remember that there is a higher part of ourselves, a greater cosmic story of which we are a part. And it is in this remembering really that pulls us forward. It's like a lost treasure. And it's in you. And you are reminded of it and you know it exists, but yet so elusive. And so it puts you on a journey. It puts you on your spiritual journey to recapture once again, to remember it in its fullness and to experience it, indeed to find it. And in this great spiritual quest is the journey of learning and experiences. It is the journey of new creations, higher wisdom. And through this journey, through all of its aspects, perceived to be wonderful and also challenging at the same time, the deepest parts of us know that it is a journey to bring us into this illumination, into this great treasure that we seek and have sought for so long. Not only in this life, but for many, in many lives, to bring us to this point of a quantum leap, not only for ourselves individually, but for a full consciousness of a species, for the full consciousness of a celestial body. Indeed, it is the fullness of the entanglement of this entire solar system, this universe. And in this great magnitude of understanding, integrating, and seeing how all this unfolds and how all of it is possible, and somehow we are part of it all. We are a great chapter in the book of life upon the earth. And so it has deepest parts of ourselves that yearn to do what it is we promised ourselves to do what it is, because our capacity of unconditional love is boundless, and thereby we automatically heard the call to come, help, and assist others. For we remember we are each other's keeper. And so as we sojourn and move upon this journey, from our birth and beyond our birth, a great unfolding starts to happen. And as we can move forward in time and look back, we realize that all things that have come into my life were with purpose. And it is these very things that helped us to be who we are today as awakened souls upon the earth. No longer caught within the parameters and frequency vibration of limitation, but beyond the gravitational pull of this earth. Indeed, for many, beyond our solar system, beyond the stars of Alcyon, the Pleiades, Sirius. No longer distant memories, but familiar neighborhoods. And as we move into our galactic beingness, we become more aware and seek more in our journey of remembering. And as we do, we remember the bright spiritual beings that we are. That indeed our superpower is our unconditional love and holding that frequency. Holding that frequency for all. That they too upon the earth of the great Adam Kadmon, the great divine human, remembers their origins and who they are, not of this world, but beyond this world. For indeed, man is the spirit and has come into an earth spacesuit for many reasons, but for sure, to bring the three density of this expression into the higher density of ascension, freedom, and release of boundedness. And so together, beloveds, we breathe every sacred, holy in-breath and out-breath. For indeed, it is the breath, it is in the remembering of who we truly are. The remembering of those parts of ourselves connected fully 100%, remembering we are one with the source creator. Breathing each and every in-breath and out-breath, expanding our consciousness. Not limited within a head, but understanding we are in a stream of consciousness. And as we begin to open our heart chakra and all chakras come into a great alignment. In this field of consciousness, we raise our frequency, raising it into the illumined lights, the radiant absolute light, the creation of all worlds, in the radiance of the Ein Sof or limitless light, riding on the undulating waveforms of unconditional love. And right here and now, we choose to come into the highest alignment that we can with this radiance that exists always, waiting for us to integrate and process as we unfold, as we move on, as we become more and more enlightened to the truth of who we are. And as we do, it is our unconditional love to know that we do the best we can, to be the best we can, and to hold that for others to remember who they are, for they to be the best who they can. For they to awaken out of the stupor, out of the sleep, into a new awakening of a new day and a new age. For in the cycles of time, This time of a golden age approaches. And it is indeed the co-creation of the children of light upon the earth who have not forgotten, who have shaken out of their stupor from whatever time it happened in their earthly lives. That spark that came, that said, I am more than this earth bodysuit. I am more than the environment that surrounds me in this earthly plane. And the awakening of one soul upon the earth is a great celebration. For that one soul would ignite others, and they ignite others, and it continues and continues. And so, beloveds, we say to you, indeed, there is a great awakening. And the great awakening that's taken place now is for those who have held the energy, many for so long, many for lifetime after lifetime. And so opened up the portals of light that new beings incarnating can more readily come into the awareness and fullness of who they are. And so indeed, beloveds, we say to you, there is a rippling effect. And your choices ripples throughout time and space. And so we say to you, beloved, that you draw onto yourself the Ami Shaddai, the family of light, from all realms, all dimensions, and all expressions. That as you continue on your journey of ever unfolding awareness, the re-returning of wisdom, understanding, and that as you do, you create a field of light that impacts all living things, not only in the three density world, but beyond that, where your reach is eternal and expansive. Indeed, beloveds, what we say to you, that maybe you may not able to grasp completely, but understand that your choices, your thoughts, and your intentions ripples throughout the universe, touching many embryonic planets and life forms. Your very vibration of love, unconditional love, holding the frequency of light, holding the frequency of perfect balance and peace and joy, moves into the consciousness of newly created thought form. That's how it's done. Indeed, you in the creation of the mind of the Creator, the very thought of you was the start. I'm illumined thought form with the Adam Kadmon, the divine human, to be overseer and stewards of a celestial body, so pristine, so loving, so many life forms evolving upon her. And in this pristine memory of the Ancient of Days, of which you know so well, indeed, what you know and you remember is the Eden tree. It is the tree of life. And as you have traversed through many of its branches, you find yourself here in the eons of time, that your consciousness, your awareness, that part of yourself agreed and says, I will come. I am willing to lose my memory. I am willing to come into a world of density from the highest world of non-density. But it is in my love of God and the divine. It is in my love of helping that I find myself here. And as I do, help and support, so too am I blessed. And so in this sacred moment, as the remembering begins to come more illuminated, as in over time it has faded and faded, but now that part comes back. It comes back more illumined, less elusive, coming more permanently. Until, beloveds, you find that your consciousness and your way of life upon the earth has changed in what it was a year ago, much less 5 years ago. You are different from 10 years ago because you are ever on the evolutionary path of ascension. And we ask you now to breathe deeply the in-breath and out-breath. Because what comes in here now, if you could see a majestic eagle, large, its wings outstretched, and it's on and currents of the air. It is effortless in its movement as it soars throughout the ethers of memory, the ethers of the cosmicness of you, the ethers of the cosmic waters of which you dive deep, of which you now experience a freedom of movement. And in this experience of movement, your intention is that you have the bird's eye view of remembering the magnitude, radiance, and magnificence of the various experiences you have had, of the various soul groups you've been a part of, as divine sacred collaborations, partnerships, and agreements. And in this light of a new day, you hold a memory now. No longer does it fade, for it is integrated fully in your consciousness, even as you walk a three-dimensional and three-density earth. Truly, you can say, as you soar in the ether, my body is in the world, but I am not of it. For I remember the fullness and the freedom of who I am and what I am. And through the higher heart of my compassion and my love, I set myself free and I set others free in the remembering of the glory of the sacred Adam Kadmon, the divine human, of the glory of the Genesis, and now the regenesis of a new golden age. That indeed we are the Adams and the Eves that are recreating a new age upon the sacred earth. For those that look to be born from the firstborn, and it is the firstborns that come, for they hold the cosmic memory. They hold the seeds of the original Genesis. They hold the seeds of the original thought form. And so they come in mass, generation after generation, and indeed have reincarnated several times to fulfill a mission, to fulfill a purpose as only they uniquely can do. And as they come together as a family of life, they shift many, many possibilities and probabilities, but the ones that they focus is on the Christed timeline, the divine Maitreya, the Christed timeline that expands and moves to bring an entrainment of all other timelines into this one singularity. Indeed, it is the remembering of the children of light upon the earth, who have indeed the most potency to make this happen, as they are closest to the three density earth. And as they are the lightning rods between heaven and earth, it is through them that a new age is birthed. And so they continue to walk on their path of light. They continue to move through to the other side of whatever supposed fear, challenge, or not understanding. Moving through that into a new day of light and higher understanding. And so at some point they realize, really, there is no challenge. Really, there are no blockages, because you know, as you walk the path of unconditional love and illumined light, you always come on the other side of it to move purpose with God's will. And now, bringing back the symbol of the soaring eagle, as we see ourselves in that eagle, and we are flying, and we're flying around the sacred earth, and we have a bird's eye view of all that has taken place on this blue pearl. We're able to see the highest peaks of mountains and the depths of valleys. We see the great oceans, and we see water upon this world expressed in so many ways. We see the great earth in the many expressions, from deserts to jungles. We observe in amazement the diversification of this one celestial planet, and the diversification of the living beings that are upon it. In the human kingdom, the animal kingdom, the plant, and the mineral. Indeed, as you observe, this is a gem. It's magnificent. It's radiant. And you remember it holds the living library of all living things in this sector of the universe. And as it does that, you remember that you hold the very DNA of the earth within your physical bodies. And you remember that you have access to this information to draw upon for guidance, understanding, and service. And so you look upon the earth, you observe keenly as an eagle would. You have the eagle eyes to see vastly and in detail. So we ask you, beloved, to soar like eagles now, knowing that all that you observe, all the wonderment that you experience, and all of those things that you see that need to be addressed, that are out of balance, that are not in alignment with the unconditional love and the limitless light, not in alignment with the purity of the Eden tree and the Genesis. And so now, as you remember who you are, as you soar through the ethers of the earth, you remember that you hold these imprints within your own physical DNA. The imprints of the earth, but also, beloveds, you hold the DNA of the higher parts of yourself not limited to the earth. And as the expansiveness of your consciousness continues to move in any direction you choose now to send light. You choose now to send the compassion of all those spaces in need of that. As you peer into the hearts of humanity, you offer healing, understanding, peace. Each and every sacred in-breath and out-breath is holy. And as you soar through the eagle eyes, you shed your love in those spaces, praying for help. Those spaces that have given up hope. Those spaces, praying for a miracle. Those spaces who are wondering, is there a creator? Is there a God? You hold the frequency of answered prayer in the hearts of so many, silent behind the scenes, not necessary to identify who you are. For you are everyone, and everyone is you. And so you simply radiate your higher heart of compassion and unconditional love. And as you soar through the ethers, you're emanating a pearlescent white golden light, an illumined light, not of the world, but beyond the world. For you have the ability to hold this special light and share it to the world. You continue knowing that as your body breathes in and out, this radiance that you carry with you into the ethers expands and becomes more powerful, more radiant, and tethered more deeply to the earth. And so you realize there is movement in all of the earthly kingdoms. As consciousness begins to move and stir, as you pass over, as you move through, as you hold your loving radiance, sending a prayer on a whisper into the hearts of so many. Hold your positions and soar. And soar. Hold the energy. And as we feel we could soar forever, spreading the radiance of unconditional love, the healing balm to so many, we know that the time has come for our return. We are grateful for the experience and for this majestic symbol that has come in the re-remembering, evoking our cosmic memory. May we use this divine, radiant eagle in our dreams as it is a gift. May we see through its eyes the magnificence and the beauty of the earth, and also the spaces in need, in the re-remembering of the radiance of unconditional love and the illumined light. For this will be available to you, and you may use it as often as you will, knowing that you will reach this energetic field if you do. Remember to do so before you fall asleep, so you can work more profoundly within the inner planes as the children of light upon the earth who have not forgotten. And with that now, the energies begin to step down. And all those radiant ones who've held this platform for us, we acknowledge with grateful hearts. We are humbled. We draw in our electromagnetic field with the intention to be back and alert on the count of 3, to be fully grounded to the sacred earth. 1, 2, take a deep breath in, and 3. We are back, awake, alert, and we are very grounded.